Welcome to the Elixir podcast, hosted by The New Ways. Today's special guest is the sultry and soulful songstress, Janae Catt.
Hello everybody, welcome again to the Elixir podcast. I am The New Ways, and today I'm here with a very, very special guest. That is Miss Janae Catt. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hey.
Well, you have to understand, Janae and I, we go way back. We've known each other from high school, and she has always had a wonderful voice, and now she has been moving forward with her career, doing some wonderful things. So we're going to talk a little bit about the past and a little bit about what she has coming up. So how are you doing?
I am doing fabulously.
So recently you just had a trip to a wonderful label called Nervous. Tell us what's going on with that.
Well, I actually did a song with a friend of mine, Sterling Void, out of Chicago, and recorded it in Berlin with you.
Exactly.
Now, that was an awesome time, but as you remember, we didn't have a traditional microphone.
No.
We had to do it with a stick mic.
We had a very untraditional microphone.
And 2 socks.
It did the trick.
Yeah, it really did. He sent, actually he lost the recording for 2 years.
Okay.
On a external drive.
Okay.
He found the drive,
Okay.
and a friend of his jumped on the track and decided to remix it in Thailand. His name is Ron Jameson.
Okay.
And Nervous Records jumped on it, and they signed us for the song.
Okay. Good.
I am very excited. It's my very first deal ever.
Exactly. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Just in case you hear birds in the background, that's because I'm still in Miami. I'm going to be in Miami until mid-October, and right now you're hearing the Piece of Paradise behind you.
I thought it was because I'm Snow White.
That's what it is. You brought the birds with you. So,
Chirp, chirp, sing, sing.
so you've been singing now for ages. You started off, like I said, with musical theater, always been doing soul. Why is it still important for you to sing? Why is that important for you?
It is a driving force in my spirit. It is a thing that I do from my heart, from my being. It is the only thing that drives me. I have been through a lot of things in life, and I have found that the only thing that has been my savior has been music.
What is it about singing? Like, for example, I can sing. I don't enjoy singing because it stresses me out. I like making the music and stuff in the background. So what is it about the process of singing that matches you as a person? So why is it singing? Why isn't it something else?
It's direct expression. I'm a person that cannot beat around the bush. I try.
Mm-hmm.
Verbally, I don't beat around the bush, and I guess in everything that I do, it's one of those things. It's probably one of the most pure expressions because it comes directly from the inside, straight from the source.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's no more direct, mostly because it's like I am touched, and then it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes out, it's a release that is undescribable, where kind of like when you're constructing music that you feel like you finally got out what was in your spirit. Same thing happens with me vocally.
Okay. So when you get up to sing, are you ever nervous, or are you scared, or is it really just this fearlessness that comes with singing because of this joy, this?
Well, it depends on the capacity of the venue and the actual event.
Okay.
I mean, for a long time I was doing cabaret.
Yeah.
For about 7 years, and for me doing that, it was a thing where people would walk in and I'm already singing, but I was a singing server, so when I would try to add levels and depth for the people, because it was for them, I know what I'm gonna do. They didn't know what I was up to.
Exactly.
that was challenging. But if I'm just showing up to sing, I'm only afraid that there might be something out of my control that's not going to go right.
Like technical problems or something.
Yeah, and if my voice is acting crazy, sometimes I'm afraid that's not going to come out right. But I've been blessed that I just relax and trust that what I hear in my head and feel in my heart is actually what's coming out of my mouth. Okay. I only have to pay attention to make sure that it is in tune with what I hear in my head. And sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's okay.
But you also, lots of people are just singers. But you also write. You've always written. You've written since I've known you.
Yes.
What is it about writing your own stuff that's so important to you? I know you sing other people's stuff, but the things that move you, that you like, and you have no problem with that. But you really like to write your own lyrics.
I prefer writing my own lyrics because it's more authentic when you're sharing your own message. It's just that extra added ingredient of direct creativity for me. Plus, I have a lot of things on my mind. I like to be able to get them out. Okay. And want to be able to just express myself without any boundaries. Okay. Like most of the time people ask, what genre do I sing? Yes, I have a song out that is in the house music genre, but I sing everything. I'm blessed that we were raised in a time where we had all kinds of music at our disposal. And
we listened to everything. We listened from everything from Aretha Franklin to David Bowie to everything. Exactly.
Absolutely. And that for me was very enriching. And it comes out. I write all styles. Literally all styles. When I first started writing regularly, because before I would write only on inspiration, when I would write for just to relieve myself of the pressure of the thoughts, it would be 2 uplifting poems and 1 poem that was just nonsense. And by nonsense I mean anything that's not going to advance humanity that's on my mind. It's nonsense.
Like a song about cake or something?
Cake, sex, food, people.
But sex isn't nonsense.
It is nonsense because it's not for the advancement of humankind. It's only about releasing for a moment. And there's a lot of songs about releasing for a moment. Yeah. They've continuously begun to get more vulgar, but I won't talk about that.
How do you feel about that?
See, now you got me talking.
You're going to get the vulgarity of music.
I actually grew up in a time when music was saying, I want to get next to you. And I took a little hiatus from listening. Because when you're living life, you don't always have time to listen to what everyone else is doing. You got to focus on yourself. But when I jumped back in and started listening, the whisper song was a thing. And Kaya was a thing. Now, I like the songs, honey, yes. But I always take into consideration, can my children listen to that without me needing to put a bar of soap in their mouth for repeating what they heard? And I was like, who lost the bet?
Was there ever a time in your life where you had a period where you felt like you just either lost the motivation or the ability to sing in the way that brings you the joy you normally have? Like, I went through a period where I realized there was when I was towards the end of my marriage, where there was 3 years, and I realized I hadn't done any music for 3 years, and I was terrified that I could even make music. Like, could I still? Do I still have it? Or
I remember.
And I remember that Shirley Bassey, she lost her voice for a while from trauma. People lose their voice from Luther Vandross from illness. Have you ever had a point where you were like, oh no, what's going on?
A couple of points. Let's put it this way. I have been singing since I'm 8 months old. I'm going to tell you this story now. My mother used to throw a lot of parties. I was little in New York. So when my uncles and godfathers and aunts, not all related by blood, would show up to the house at night to come and have drinks with my mom, dance to the record player. And they were playing Reasons from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I was 8 months old in the crib singing along with the fabulous Mr. Philip Bailey. Because apparently as a baby I was able to hit those notes. So my aunt's in the other room and she said, somebody is here with us. Everyone had left the house. Mm-hmm. My mom said, you're crazy, you're drunk. No. Somebody is singing or talking, something's happening. Ultimately, they turn off everything. My mom ends up going to the bathroom after calling my aunt crazy for a long time. Mm-hmm. Don't ask me how I remember this. I will never forget it, though. Even my aunt asked me how I remember this. And so my mom ends up going in the room, and we're at the end of the song when Philip is vamping out. Mm-hmm. And I am vamping out with Philip in the crib. My mom said, that is the baby. The baby is singing. And my aunt said, I told you I wasn't crazy. My mom didn't make it to hear me do all of the things that I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. But I got my aunt still. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as losing my voice, in elementary school, I got tired of hearing my own voice because they used to have me doing the morning announcements and singing all the little solos and all the little mm-hmm. plays once they heard that I could sing. And actually, the elementary school that I was going to at the time, my aunt started that school.
So they wanted you to sing all the time. So
I was doing everything, any and everything, because it was like I was an extension. Well, not like I was, because I am an extension and a representation of the excellence that my aunt created. Mm-hmm. So they said, as long as we have a piece of her, we are going to let it shine. Mm-hmm. I got tired of hearing my own voice.
Do you get tired of singing sometimes now? Like, is there other moments where you're just like, I just need a break?
No, because I don't overdo it. Okay. That I don't know where the balance came from, but I don't overdo it. I also lost my voice for about 8 months because I was doing karaoke and I wasn't singing professionally. And karaoke involves alcohol.
What's funny is when you post your karaoke videos, what's amazing always is your first song. When you get up there and you haven't sung anything, so the people haven't heard you sing. And so they are just like, and you open your mouth and they're just like, you hear the first reaction like, oh, she can sing. It's like, you tricked us. Why do you do karaoke? Because you enjoy doing karaoke.
Karaoke is fun. It is my jam. It is fun. Listen, karaoke is the one place everybody can go and be the star. I don't go to be the star. I go to watch other people, to laugh with them, to have drinks with them, to get to know people I like. Mm-hmm. I don't even know why I'm saying this, because usually I don't necessarily like being up under people. But when I go to karaoke, it's like it's a different vibe. Mm-hmm. Everyone is there, and all of the notions that one might have on meeting someone that's new melt away. It could be the alcohol. It could be the fact that all of us are bombing in the songs. Even if they think that I'm singing well at karaoke, there is no pressure if I make a mistake. There is only love. Yeah. Because we're all there together. It's like we're all trying to climb out of a hole. Karaoke is like therapy. Everyone I've ever met there, hey, they have something going on. That music is the thing that keeps them going and makes them feel good. Mm-hmm. And they might have that one song that they deliver that makes everything okay. And I like to see people healing themselves. Mm-hmm. Because just like little babies have to cry it out, mm-hmm. sometimes we have to sing it out. Mm-hmm. And it only feels better once you've gotten it out. Yeah. So I love me some karaoke. The only thing with karaoke is them free drinks will get you, because it's rude to say no. And I don't like being rude.
Oh, Lord. So at the beginning of the year, we brought out Past the Pain. Now, that's a song you've done before, but we did the remixes. So we had Professor Dictabeat, who was on the show already. Who else was, I'm forgetting
Alan Armstrong. Okay, exactly. So Past the Pain is a song that I wrote with Fabian Alexander and Patrick Gayres initially. They came up with this fabulous, thick, hard beat, that very urban, very street. And the melody just flowed off like nothing. Mm-hmm. So then we go into the studio to brainstorm for more music, and I ended up with 5 more songs, singing them while I was asleep. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
you have to understand, Stacy will sleep and do things in her sleep. Yeah. Ah, Janae, yes.
Anyway,
So Janae will do things in her sleep and not remember them or not be fully aware of the situation at hand.
I sing in my sleep.
She also pulls food out of very interesting places. We're not going to get into that.
You gonna let me stash my
Yeah,
food?
'cause
You might be hungry. I might be able to feed you one day. My
Don't
mom
ask-
said everybody needs somebody, and you feed the
Don't
hungry.
ask her for no hamburgers because she will have one.
I got you. Hamburger, piece of pie. What you need?
But-
I might not have liquid because you know you can't fly with liquid, but you
No.
can fly with food.
Oh, Lord.
And you can melt cheese if you put the food in the right place.
Don't be melting the cheese now.
I'm gonna melt all the cheese.
So,
but like I
Past the
said,
Pain. We were at
okay,
Past the
so
Pain.
Past the Pain in terms of the remixes became a thing. When we went into quarantine, nobody was really doing anything. Everyone was kind of bored. We were trying to figure out what to do. I'm watching everybody cook. I cook. I'm cooking. I'm singing. And I'm like, you know what? Got to do something else. And at this point, this song feels like it's time to really dig in and feel the pain
Mm-hmm.
and see what musically will make that pain feel better. So it ended up being a thing where I gave the vocals to 4 DJs.
Mm-hmm.
To you, to Professor Dictabeat, to Alan Armstrong out of Daytona Beach,
Mm-hmm.
and to Daria Dendrum out of Miami. Now, Alan Armstrong I've known since I'm 9 years old.
Okay.
You I have known since forever.
Yeah.
After Alan, but forever.
Yeah.
Professor Dictabeat I met in Germany when I went last year.
Okay.
And Daria Dendrum actually used to work with me at the Cabaret South Beach in Miami.
Okay.
And she was taking some DJ courses. And she
Okay.
said, I will take a spin at your track because
Yeah.
I love your vocals.
Okay.
For me, it was a thing, no matter how any of the tracks came out, everyone was expressing their pain through music. So any imperfections were made beautiful because it was like every DJ was like, this part hurts, but this makes it feel better.
Okay.
Let me throw that feel good on there. And so I ended up with a really beautiful project.
Good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play. I'm actually gonna play the soul, the neoclassic soul remix, and then at the end of the episode, I'm going to add the Professor Dictabeat remix since he's been on the show, so we can keep talking about that because it was a fun project. It was interesting to get it out there, get the pictures, and I'm actually happy with it. And everyone, if you want to check it out, just to let you know, it's on Spotify.
It's
on
available everywhere. You'll know you got it right when you see a beautiful black woman in a yellow polka dot dress.
I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I stand in love today, and that is what is proven. I've been stood on, I've been lied to. I've been good on, well I tried to. Sometimes you let it go. Sometimes you let it go because you know I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I stand in love today, and that is what is proven. I open up my eyes every day and wonder what it is that makes me feel this way. Trying hard, changing my point of view, attempting in the dark to remain invisible. But you see me shining all this light from the grind. I'm gonna leave all this negativity behind. Stepping forward toward the joy in my heart. my chase is just a start. I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I'll stand in love today, and that is what is proven.
Yeah, there's not many album covers with black women in polka dot dresses, but she's looking wonderful. She has an umbrella even though it's not raining. Was it raining that day?
It rained before I went outside, so I took the umbrella with me so that I wouldn't end up with tree droppings on my dress. That photo shoot was very interesting as well because I did it at a train station in Miami, and literally at that time of day people are working out. The bicyclists stop riding their bicycles to watch the photo shoot. One of them sat down and recorded it. He came out in some of the pictures.
Oh God.
Hey, I like it. I like candid stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm that person. If there's something weird going on in the background, I'm usually the person that spots it. Like, where's Waldo? Y'all don't see that happening over there? Everybody, let's just watch. Act like you're not looking so they don't stop and they don't think anything of it.
Exactly.
Because you never want to make anybody feel any type of way, but sometimes you definitely want to pay attention.
So, we did Pass the Pain, that came out. Now you got I Found You. That's the one that's coming out on the Nervous
Nervous Records.
Nervous
I
Records.
have not been given a release date for it yet, but we're staying tuned for that, honey, because yes.
Okay. And what's Moving On? Tell me about Moving On.
Move On is a song that I recorded with Benjamin Keys out of New York.
Okay.
Literally, someone told me, because I was there last week, I was told that Def Jam was doing open call auditions in New York. So I'm having one of those glitter moments. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to pull a Mariah Carey and just wander in and walk through the city and be fabulous. I ended up finding 2 offices for Def Jam. One was Island Def Jam, the other one was Def Jam. Both of them were closed because of the coronavirus quarantine. They've been closed since March, but no one told me. As I'm walking down the street, I literally met Mr. Keys. And we started to talk, and I figured out that he also did music and that he is a musician. And I really love live music and the opportunity to be able to create music. So I went back to his place and we recorded the song. And everything was done in one take. And we finished that song in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And there's already a video. It will be released very soon. Within the next month.
You worked with so many different producers. Let's not talk about what works. Let's talk about what doesn't work for you when you're working with a producer.
Impatience doesn't work for me because, as we've already discussed, sometimes I pass out. If you're doing a lot of work in the studio and it's stuff that can't be done before I get there, but needs to happen, I will just politely zone out, take a little nap until it's time, and when it's time to record, then I'm ready. If the person I'm working with is not patient with the fact that I went to sleep while they were working so that they could do their job effectively and thoroughly, then that doesn't work for me. And I have had that instance to happen. And it ended up getting me banned from a studio once until the person understood what was going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
Because it really
What was his expectation if it was reading, if you all were at the point where it was now his turn to do his part? So, like, that's his part of the
I don't know what he
collaboration.
was expecting, but I was expecting to chill out in the studio, listen to him upload whatever he's done on his instrument into the system or play it, and wake up when he told me, okay, I'm finished and everything is put in correctly so that we can get our mix right, and do my vocals. Usually I don't have a problem. I can wake up and no more than 3 takes, we got it. That's from waking up. So I only ask for the patience for the person to understand that I'm gonna go to sleep. I take naps sporadically. It just is. I might go to sleep standing up. Try me. But when I wake up, it's on, and we doing our thing.
Yeah. So how much is your musical theater background? So back in the day, singing in high school when we met,
Well,
how much has that helped you, or has it helped you, or in what way has that had an influence on where you are now?
okay, well, I actually went to New World School of the Arts before we met.
Yeah.
And I didn't study musical theater, I studied straight theater. And my sophomore year, instead of doing a theater production, we did a musical. And the musical theater did straight production. Straight theater production with no singing.
Okay.
Number one, that taught me to be versatile. But the training from because I also took musical theater in high school, the training taught me to relax and pay attention to other people's reaction. Because a lot of my job for the last 7.5 years has been me paying attention to the crowds and giving them what they want, as opposed to what I want them to have. Of course, I can slip in what I want them to have as I'm giving them what they want, but it taught me to read my crowd very well. And I can appreciate that because I like understanding people. I think that we're all here to understand each other. And the best way to be able to make you dance is if I know what makes you move.
If you got an offer now to do like a musical somewhere, would you do it?
Yes, because that's fun, sweetie. You have to be able to climb out of yourself and spread your wings so that when you go back into yourself, you have that strength of recognizing that you can go further than even you imagined, even if it's only between your ears, and that other people besides you also can feel what you're doing. It's always about sharing the vibe, because you're doing it for yourself, but it's totally for yourself if you're not sharing the vibe at all, and then it's no fun. You always want to be able to bounce the energy back and forth like basketball. And I'm terrible at basketball, but I'm good at bouncing vibes.
So, let's say 5 years from now, we do another sit-down interview. Tell me.
We gotta wait that long?
No, we don't wait that long. I'm not calling you ever again. No. So,
Don't do me like that.
where is Janae? Where is Janae in 5 years?
Well, why are you making me think? In 5 years, let's see. I am a dreamer. So, let's see. In 5 years, I hope that either I have already or I am definitely on my way in to perform at Madison Square Garden. I was born in New York, raised in Miami. And that's the constant, sweetie. There in Radio City Music Hall, you ain't did nothing until you got in there. And I wouldn't mind getting in there, even if it's just for one performance. Even if I only sang one song, I'd be happy. Because that'll make my mommy happy. That'll make my dad proud. And my dad kind of doesn't notice my accomplishments musically. I mean, he recognizes the personal accomplishments because apparently it's a big deal to be a good parent and a great person. And some parents value that more than whatever professional advances you make in life, because they recognize that as long as they made a great person, you'll always excel. That's where my parents are. Like, are you a good person? Okay, we don't care as long as you're a good person, because You can be a horrible person and achieve all these things.
Mhm.
But if you're a good person, then we did something.
Exactly.
And then it's also cool you did those things.
Exactly.
But it's more important who you are when you shut your mouth.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of rude.
And well, if you could not sing, for example, something happened tomorrow, someone said, no, you can't sing anymore. If you sing one note, you'll die. I know you're going to say you're going to cook, huh?
I'm a cook, but I might die too, child. I might die. The thing is I sing while I'm cooking. Don't trip me up with that one.
Good. So, we have come to the end of our time. Thank you, Miss Janae Catt.
Thank you for having me so very
We will have you back again in 5 years.
5 years? Who's waiting 5 years? Don't make me come to Berlin for you.
Goodness. Well, you have to come back to Berlin anyway, so.
Yep.
Well, everyone, if you want to check out Janae Catt,
I am available everywhere that music is available. My music is on Spotify. It is on YouTube. It's on SoundCloud. I have not put up Move On yet. I am actually testing out a video to figure out what works before I release it, because I plan to release it with the video.
Okay.
Name somewhere that digital music is available, and that's where I am, sweetie. Google me, and I love you, and I hope that you love me enough to have me come where you are, because I will. I like traveling. I got my passport shit.
Well, we're definitely going to share some. We played earlier, so the Professor Dictabeat remix of Past the Pain, and now we're going to play some more tracks from Miss Janae Catt. So stay tuned, and
Maybe
of course
we can sneak Move On there.
maybe we can. This could be. We have
Stay
some time.
tuned, guys.
Oh goodness. So guys, remember, every Thursday, new podcast, new guests. This week, Janae Catt. Next week, who knows? Janae Catt may just have ended everything. She's a big woman. She's a big personality.
I love you for loving me. Yes.
All right, guys. Thanks again, and stay safe.
I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I'm standing up today, and that is what is brewing. I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I'm standing up today, and that is what is proving. I've been stood on, I've been lied to. I've been good on, well I tried to. Sometimes you let it go, let it go. Sometimes you let it go because you know I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I'm standing up today, and that is what is brewing. I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to be is all that's brewing. I'm standing up today, and that is what is brewing. I open up my eyes every day and wonder what it is that makes me feel this way. Trying hard, changing my point of view, attempting in the dark to remain invisible, but you see me shining all this light from the grind. I'm gonna leave all this negativity behind, stepping forward toward the joy in my heart, living all my dreams is just a start. I'm living past the pain, and I'm gonna keep on moving. All that I am is all that I'm doing. All that I hope to
Ghost Hands Records.
Rytius, Janae Catt. R to the Y to the I to the U to the S. Too fine,
It's YTM.
too hot. As I see your smile and eat and make a wee. Nenantia,
No?
nee, yeah. Say me tell one and only mommy dog. Oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose. Make I choose, so oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Tell me, baby. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose.
I walk by, see your smile, and it makes me wanna stay a little while. I see you high, and you're so fine. Just make me wanna wind up on you all the time. I see you, hey, hey, baby. I'm gonna hold you and I'll keep you till the end. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose. Make I choose, so oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Tell me, baby. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose. So baby, it be you, nobody there, it be you, yeah. It be you, nobody there, it be you, yeah. But I'm a come so back up, pe. The love I get for you be jeje. They try to cross you, but I tell you, say, oh, I'm memly, kwa momo ko too fine, too hot. As I see your smile and eat and make a wee. Nenantia, nee, yeah. Say me tell one and only mommy dog. Oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose. Make I choose, so oh, yeah, tell me what you want, make I do. Tell me, baby. Cause every day be you where I dey think. Me love you, yeah. As I dey sing this song to you. And if you know me, you tell me who then make I choose.
Ghost Hands Records.
Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Sometimes you need a little extra help. Sometimes you have to end things to get to the bottom of the problem. Yeah. Sometimes what you can't see is what is meant to be. What you have is all wrong, but you've got to see. Making change comes from inside, and you can be the one who goes on and on. Move on and make your way. Change life and go today. It's time to wake up and make things right for us today. Hey, hey. Move on and make a change. Stand up. And just because I see you doesn't mean that you're not grown. I said, stand up and make a change.